where to start this fucking football game. I think the number one thing to take away from this game is that the Packers' run defense sucks, and it's not going to get any better unless the Packers actually do something about it. You know, this next week to week and a half, for me, is going to be one of the most critical points for this Packers team, not only this season, but going forward. They're going to have to make a decision on what they want to do. Do they think that Mike Pettine can fix what has been not working for the better part of the last year or so, and not, upgrade or try and upgrade the defense in any way? Or do they actually try and address the issue here? Because to me, if the Packers don't fix this run defense, Dalvin Cook had 160 yards today, by the way, 4 total touchdowns on 30 rushes. The tackling was horrendous. Packers lost by 6 points. I'll talk about the refs a little bit later, but really, the number one thing to take away from this game, the run defense. If the Packers don't fix it, it's going to be another exit in the NFC playoffs because of their run defense. They're going to run into a team that's going to run the ball down their throats, and the Packers aren't going to be able to do anything about it, and Aaron Rodgers is going to be on that sideline watching the game waste away like he has been every single time, in the playoffs, like since he won the Super Bowl. And this defense needs to do something. Something needs to happen. Something needs to change about this defense, because a team that has guys like Darius Smith and Jair Alexander, and Adrian Amos and Kenny Clark, and Kevin King, who's injured right now. But I mean, they've also got a lot of young talent. I love Chris Barnes. I love Kamal Martin on the inside. Kingsley Keke, I'm really excited about him. On Travis Adams. I mean, there's a lot of talent on this team. But why do the Packers continue to suck against the run? To me, it points to one guy. It's Mike Pettine. Mike Pettine is the guy who runs the defense, who's responsible for coaching the players, getting them up to speed, and week after week, year after year, it seems like the Packers are simply not good enough on the defensive side of the ball. And it becomes more of a point, because I think the front office has actually done a decent job, at least in the first couple off seasons of Brian Gutekunst's tenure in Green Bay, of bolstering the defense. I think they have done. They went out and they spent money. They got Zadarius Smith. They got Adrian Amos. They got Preston Smith. They got a lot of guys, They drafted Savage. There is talent on this team, and the Packers front office has helped this defense get better through the personnel they have. But yet the defense, they got better the past couple years, but they're not better right now. So who is the guy that's most responsible for that? To me, it's Mike Pettine. If the Packers have another predictable, which I predict anyways, that the Packers are going to look horrible against the run against San Francisco, and they will likely lose because of it. If we have another game like today or the NFC Championship this Thursday, I think the Packers need to take a gamble, take a risk, and fire Mike Pettine, because it's just not acceptable anymore. We have one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game in Aaron Rodgers. We have not won a Super Bowl in 10 years with him since the beginning of his career. He is 36, 37 years old right now, and he will be a Green Bay Packer for maybe 2 more years, maybe 3, who knows. We can't continue to keep wasting this guy's career. Something needs to happen. Something needs to change. You can't just say, "Oh, we'll figure it out. We'll keep moving on." No, I don't want to just figure it out. I want to actually do something to help this team get them better, because if we don't, we're going to lose in the playoffs again for the same exact reason we have every single year since we've won the Super Bowl in 2010. Because of our defense. It's always our defense. Why can our defense not be impactful, even with all the impact players on it? We have a shutdown corner. We have an elite pass rusher. We have an elite run stopper in Kenny Clark. We have so much talent on the defensive side of the ball, and yet it continues to suck. So who does that point to? That points to Mike Pettine for me. Get him out of Green Bay. If he can't figure it out, I give him one more game. Get him out of Green Bay if he can't figure it out, because it's ridiculous. We're just going to lose in the playoffs again if we stick with him. We're a good team, by the way. I think we're a really good team this year. Our offense looks fantastic, but it doesn't matter if our defense can't stop the freaking run. Teams beat us every year because of our defense in the playoffs, and it's going to happen again if we don't figure something out. If we don't make a trade, if we don't fire Pettine, if we don't do something about it, we are going to be screwed again. unless some, miracle happens or whatever, and teams just, play stupid against us or something, which isn't going to happen because the teams that we're going to be going up against, teams like Tampa Bay, teams like San Francisco, they're not going to be stupid enough to, not run the ball on us. That's what they did when they blew us out in the NFC Championship game, and when Tampa blew us out 2 weeks ago. They're not going to be stupid enough to not run the ball on us. Why do anything different? Just something has to change. Something has to change about this defense, about this team, for that matter. And I don't blame today at all on the offense. Aaron Rodgers actually played fantastic. I mean, honestly, I think the refs were pretty terrible. They kind of swung the game a little bit for Minnesota. I don't want to be that guy who complains about the refs or whatever, but, I mean, it's kind of embarrassing, how biased they look today. I mean, the Packers, there was one drive where Minnesota scored a touchdown on, and 2 third downs, both incomplete passes sailed over the defender's head. Both were called pass interference. Neither of the balls were catchable, and one of them was a really weak call in my opinion. Just kind of them hand fighting. It was that Jair on, I think, maybe Justin Jefferson. Yeah. Jair was called for pass interference. Really hated that call. Gave the Vikings maybe a 4-point swing. And then because assuming they kick the field goal and make it, of course, it was windy, so that's not even a guarantee. And then there was what was it? Packers were driving. It was a 3rd and 1, I think. They throw the ball to Tonyan, and the defender is just draped on Robert Tonyan. They throw a flag, and I'm like, all right, good. You see the replay? Oh yeah, it's clearly pass interference. I mean, he's tackling him, and he's in midair, and he swats his hands away before the ball gets there. Clear pass interference. They pick it up. Why did they pick it up? I don't know why they picked it up. It makes no sense why they picked that flag up. I mean, I heard the Vikings, I saw Zimmer complaining to the officials. I heard a Viking shout, "That's bullshit," on a hot mic, and they picked it up for some reason. I don't know. There was really no reason to pick it up. That was a horrendous call, in my opinion. No reason whatsoever to pick that flag up. And that led to Green Bay being forced to punt the ball, I believe, and that kind of took away a drive that I thought was going to end in 7 points. The Packers certainly looked like they were going to score on that possession. So that's a potential 11-point swing in a game the Packers lost by 6. But, that shouldn't be the main point of this game. The Packers shouldn't have had to we shouldn't be in the position of having to complain about the refs for this game. The Packers should have won this game, and it should not have been close. And it wasn't close because the run defense sucks, and the Packers have not addressed it. They didn't address it last offseason, even though it was the number one hole on this team. And now look where we're at. It's the same damn thing. We might go 12-4, 13-3. Who knows what we'll go? But I mean, it's not going to change. Nothing's going to change in the playoffs. We're going to be a great team in the regular season. We're going to get to the postseason, probably even win the division. Maybe even get to the NFC Championship game if we get a favorable matchup in the divisional round. But does it matter? I mean, we're going to run into a San Francisco or a Tampa Bay. I mean, we're not just going to get free, free passes on those games. We're going to have to play probably one of them. Maybe Seattle too. I mean, Seattle I think is a better matchup for Green Bay, but still, we can't win. We can't win a championship with the defense we have right now, or at least the way they're playing right now. And something's got to change. And maybe it's firing Patton, maybe it's trading for Quinnen Williams or something. I don't know, but something's got to change, man. Because I just want Aaron Rodgers to get that elusive second ring because he was my favorite player ever, and I love this team to death. And I want to see them win a championship when I know they are good enough to do it. And this team has all the talent they need to win a championship this year, but they just continue to suck on the defensive side. And if they run into a team that can run the ball in the playoffs, they are going to lose again. And it's predictable. Everyone knows it's going to happen if they don't change something. So change something. Do something about it. Like I said, this week is going to be one of the most important weeks for the Packers in a long time. They're going to have to decide, do we continue to run it back and see what happens? Because I guarantee you nothing's going to change about it. Or do we actually try to improve the run defense? Do we make a change at defensive coordinator? Who knows? But it's got to be something. I mean, I want them to at least try, Just show that you actually care about the franchise. Like, my God. I don't know. anyways, that's all I got for you guys today. Really frustrating loss, really disappointing weekend as a whole. Just hoping that the Packers can beat the 49ers, this Thursday, but I seriously doubt that the way our run defense is playing. Hopefully the Bears lose today, crossing my fingers so we stay in first place. Hoping the Seahawks lose too so we don't really lose any positioning in the NFC, but really just a disappointing loss to a bad football team that we should beat. So, in the meantime, guys, still thanks for watching. That's all I got to say in this video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and as always, go Pack Go.